Good afternoon. Assalamu alaikum, dear viewers. I would like to welcome all of you to today's discuss on behalf of RTN Bangla TV. This discuss on based on the current pandemic COVID-19. I would like to introduce my guest speaker, Mr. Stephan Caldwell, President of Rotary Club of Scunthorpe.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Stephan. Thank you very much, Mr. Stephan, join us today. Before I'm talking about Mr. Mohammed, I would like to ask some question to Mr. Stephan. Mr. Stephan, how are you today?
Yeah, I'm very well, thank you, despite the weather.
Yeah, nice to first question, Mr. Stephan, please could you start by giving us some information about the Rotary organization for those who are not familiar with it?
Okay, so Rotary is very much an international organization. It was first established in around 1905. It was established in America, in the city of Chicago, by somebody called Paul Harris, who was a legal attorney. And Paul Harris moved to Chicago. He didn't know anybody. He wanted to build a network of contacts, business-wise and friendship-wise. So he started meetings in his own home. And then those meetings started to rotate from one person's home to another person's home. And Rotary became established as an organization that has its motto as service above self. So it's an organization which is about providing fellowship for people, originally in business communities, but now generally fellowship for members. And it's an organization that looks to do worthwhile service in the community. So now there are something like 30,000 or 33,000, I think it is, Rotary clubs in the world. There are over 1.2 million Rotarians in the world, and the organization is in over 200 countries. So it's a worldwide organization. The motto of the club is service above self, and it's involved in 6 real focus areas. It's involved in trying to prevent disease, particularly polio, on a worldwide basis. It's involved in water and sanitation, so projects to help give people clean water. Peace and conflict prevention, peace and conflict resolution. There are peace fellowships for individuals sponsored by Rotary. Very keen as well to promote maternal and child health, to make sure that people get a basic education and to involve themselves in community development. So it's a wide-ranging organization on a world basis.
Thank you very much. And we are going to second question. What are the main activities of the club?
So for our club in Scunthorpe, obviously we try to follow the whole ethos of Rotary. We're a club of around 40 members, and we have regular meetings. We meet socially at lunchtime, and we're always keen to welcome new members. We're looking for people who want to be involved in helping in the community. We have a couple of regular annual events. We have craft and collectible fairs which raise funds, and we also have a Christmas tree festival. And the Christmas tree festival now is a well-established activity. It raises significant amounts of money for the Lindsay Lodge Hospice every year. And last year there were about 80 Christmas trees which are provided and decorated by local charities, local businesses. Members of the public come to the Christmas tree festival and donate for the Lindsay Lodge Hospice funds. Beyond that, we also help other organisations. We run collections. We help Lindsay Lodge, for example, with their garden party. We have collections where we collect funds, for example, for the Macmillan organisation, and we generally work in the community to try and provide where there is a need, and that's our normal activity. We also work with other local Rotary clubs, and the other big event that's established now is the swim marathon. And this year the swim marathon was held just before we went into lockdown. Unfortunately, we were able to complete that, and we think we've raised approximately £10,000, which will be shared amongst local charitable organisations in the community.
Thank you very much. And how have you been operating during the COVID-19 pandemic?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. All organisations have had to change the way they operate, clearly, during the lockdown. And at the beginning of the lockdown, we simply cancelled our meetings. We spent a lot of time cancelling and rearranging events that were planned. So we've had to postpone one of our craft fairs, and we were also planning a golf day during the summer, which has had to be postponed. So there were no lunchtime meetings. The committee members of the club, like a lot of other organisations, had to start using Zoom for video conferences. We've tried as well to keep members involved. We started a WhatsApp group for members, and we've had one of our members regularly sending out newsletters and just small items of interest to the club membership. But as the lockdown carried on, we've actually started now to have Zoom meetings for the whole membership, and we've had 3 Zoom meetings for the whole membership. We've carried out our annual general meeting on Zoom. We've had as many members attending on the Zoom meeting as we would sometimes expect to come for lunch, and we've also had 2 of our oldest members join Zoom. So I think our membership has learned a lot about technology, and we've tried to keep the spirit of the club and the fellowship going during the period of the lockdown.
Yeah, thank you very much. Then, how have you managed to help the community during the lockdown?
Yeah, so it's been frustrating because we haven't been able to get together physically, but there's been a number of things that we've managed to do. We early on in the lockdown, our district, we were organising the district with other clubs in Yorkshire and Lincolnshire, and the district provided an emergency grant, which was to be shared between all the clubs in the district, and in conjunction with the other clubs in Lincolnshire. So I think it was £2,000 was donated mainly to food banks in the area. So the Scunthorpe Food Bank received £800 from ourselves and the other Scunthorpe Pentagon Rotary Club. So that was something that we did. We've also made contact with Voluntary Action North Lincolnshire, which is an umbrella charity working in North Lincolnshire. And they helped us to understand where there were some needy people in the community who were not able to go out into the community, but were not getting any direct support. And we set up a small fund with Voluntary Action North Lincolnshire, whereby there is money available for individuals who need help. And that money is being given, as I say, to individuals, small amounts of money, simple things. One particular person was struggling with cash, and they were given some help to top up their electricity meter. Somebody else needed some support to communicate with people, so they were given some money towards a mobile phone. So those are a few of the things we've done. We've tried to keep communications going and help going out to the community. We've tried to raise additional funds. Members have been encouraged to contribute to our benevolent fund, which is where we take our money to help people from. And people who've been in the club have been donating money to that as an alternative to actually coming along on Tuesdays and paying for their lunch. So that fund has helped us. And from that fund, we've donated some money to the North Lincolnshire Literary Trust, which helps children and families who don't have access to certain education resources and so on. And we've helped them with a donation which will provide family literacy packs so that they can do their best to educate children at home during these difficult times. Several things going on, Mohammed, and our members also individually are doing things. Somebody in the club has got a stall outside the house where they're selling books and plants, which people have provided, and that's raised money which we're using to help keep our funds available. We've also got somebody who's practically, from a practical perspective, providing support to individual on a telephone buddy system, which North Lincolnshire Council are operating. So various different things are going on to try and keep people aware of Rotary to help people.
Yep. The final question is how is the club planning for the future?
Well, I think the plan for the future is to try and get back to normal as soon as possible. What we're hoping is that we will be able to have regular meetings using the Zoom system on a fortnightly basis, so that keeps people in contact. We're handing over, as usual, my period as president ends in a couple of weeks, and we'll have a handover meeting. It'll be done probably on Zoom, but my colleague Barney will take over. We intend to try and get back to lunchtime meetings as soon as the social distancing rules allow. But we are also thinking that now that we've used Zoom so often for meetings, we can probably continue to have some of our committee meetings or our council meetings. We could probably have those meetings using Zoom to prevent us having to travel. Those of us that don't live in town can have Zoom meetings. It's more efficient. We're planning to do some more of that. But we have rescheduled some of our activities. So we're hoping to have another craft fair in November. And we're hoping that the golf day that was cancelled in May will be able to go ahead in September. And we will try to organise meetings with non-Rotarians to try and encourage them perhaps to come and join us. And go out into the community a little bit more to see if we can encourage some new membership following the pandemic. I think that's where we are really. We're keen to get back to normal.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Stephan, for giving us your valuable time, and I hope your club will continue helping the community, and in the future I wish so that you are safe and save our community. We try to help each other this situation.
Good, thank you very much. Yeah, we'll certainly look forward to working with your part of the community if we can. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.